So this week we had no stream from Bungie. We didn't have any type of reveal that they've been doing. It was pretty quiet for most of the week. Obviously, we did get what the patch notes were coming, which we're going to cover real quick. The update that came this week was pretty mellow from Deej. It talks about that they raised, which is really freaking awesome. They've raised $750,000.
Yeah, buddy.
For Nepal. $750,000, dude.
So awesome.
I mean, that's incredible. I mean, congratulations to the Destiny community.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely. Clap it up for that, dude.
That is an awesome deal, man.
Yeah, if I want to break in here for a second, I'm like, that's one thing. Like, I've been like just really pushing on like a lot of my videos and in the Google Plus community. Like when they came out with that, I was like, yeah, we got to get behind that. So like I put my group behind it, and I've been doing everything I can to spread that. And I was like, to hear that it's done so well, that's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Man, that's really cool. I mean, it's a cool deal. I mean, it was like $25. You get a shirt and a banner.
$29 after shipping.
So yeah, I mean that's a really awesome deal. So everybody.
Did you hear Activision threw in the extra $50,000 to duplicate Bungie's donations?
Yes.
Yeah,
so that's sick.
So,
and there's still time to donate. They have until May 24th to donate.
Yeah.
So man, how awesome would it be if they get to $1 million?
That would be so sick if they got to $1 million. Man,
I mean, what other gaming community can you be like?
Do that,
unite and come together and do that. I mean, that's insane, man. It really is insane. And like, speak of the community real quick. I was watching Gathalion stream today, and Gathalion's like, speaking out, go watch these other people, and it's like he's the definition of like, and some people might not like him, I get it, but like he's a great definition of what this community is by sharing and like pushing everybody else. I mean, that's one of our major goals is like, pushing other people and helping other people get exposure and stuff like that. And I think, it all comes around, you know what I mean? So, that's why we're happy to have you here, DBM Gamer, and help push your group and let people know what you're doing. Everybody attaches to something different here in this community and has different personalities they like, and that's one of the really cool things about the Destiny community. So, but this week we got we got the update. As I said, they raised $750,000 plus the 50 from Activision, so they're already at 800. Let's hope they get to $1 million. There's also some companion app fixes that were coming out, and then also some connection fixes. So, they obviously know about some of the connect. You're actually going to be able to get they're going to try to reconnect you if you get kicked out of a game and things like that. So that's a really cool thing that's coming up. But for the patch that came out today, which the intro nets are blowing up about, and we were all shocked, I think, to see the Queen's Bounties going on. We had we had this 1.2.0, which is what they're calling the one to preload House of Wolves update. So first off, in this update, we got a number of points to cover here. But the first thing that we have is weapons. So DBM, why don't you tell us a little bit about the weapon updates that are going on here, if you got that pulled up over there.
Oh yeah. First issue was they fixed an issue with the Mythoclast, which is my personal favorite. I love the Mythoclast.
Nice.
I said, coming from competitive Battlefield, Hannibal knows what I mean. You just ran an auto rifle all the time.
Don't say that again.
Say it as many times as you want.
You ran that auto rifle all the time. The Scar H, the one that did a lot of damage. Yeah, 30 points, I believe is what it was. But yeah, the Mythoclast is what's comparable to that. That's what I like to run. But they fixed a issue where it was not respawning primary ammunition. Now, an issue that actually popped up in one of my communities, I got a guy that constantly is pegging me for information. And his clan was curious about that black hammer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
They fixed an issue where you can finally get the pretty gold box around it. So now you can finally get the Hive Disruptor.
Hambo always wanted his gold box around his hammer.
Man, I tell you, there has to be a gold box around that hammer because it was like the first thing I got from Crota, and then I just can't get it to feel complete, and you need to dress it up. Put the black hammer in a box.
Dress up your black hammer?
Yeah. And
Number one, cut a hole in the box.
Oh, yes, exactly. Wow, I can't even believe you knew what I was talking about.
Of course I knew what you're talking about.
And Josh, that's awesome. I love that.
Oh, man. So what else? That covers the weapons there, huh?
Oh yeah, it was only the two. There was only two issues that I know of.
Oh wow! So next thing they have here is some PvP. Real quick, salvage. they moved the first relic to more consistently appear in a centralized position of the map. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even get to play salvage that much because, like we've said before, leave it here, man. Let us have,
Right.
I mean, God, let us have it. Hopefully, as this game grows, just like everything else, and they have more PvE options all the time. They're gonna have all this stuff. Hopefully, they leave more PvP options there. You know what I mean? So, the other thing here is they fix an issue that caused players to wait an excessively long time to respawn. So, hey, thank you for fixing that.
Yeah.
Because nothing is worse than like watching your whole team have to die for everybody to come back. You know what I mean? Especially when you're playing like, with a bunch of blueberries and that one dude's sitting in the corner waiting for everybody. You're like, dude, just go die so we can all respawn.
You called them blueberries. That's a Battlefield term.
Yeah, right. I didn't even want to go there. I didn't even want to go there, but thank you for pointing that out.
Blueberries, that's a field term. We coined it first.
Yeah, thank you. You hear that, Troy? You hear
Yes,
that?
I got it.
Yeah, you're just lucky nobody's calling anybody Doritos around here. I'm just saying.
No Zero, why don't you tell us a little bit about the user interface changes?
All right, sorry, I was getting cameras ready. Let me pull it up real quick. I have it right here.
Wow.
I had to put new cameras. You want cameras?
You act like you're doing something important all the time.
Right? Like, how important is it that they see us, David? Honestly.
It's a
God.
live
People
stream.
listening on Monday could care less. They just want to hear what user interface changes occurred.
All right, so user interface. We have vendor interaction panels has been updated to support quest chains.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
What does that mean? Well, I think what it's going to mean is that you're going to have... Because, like, House of Wolves, obviously, they're going to have 5 quest lines. I think they're trying to make it to where it's more obvious, like, what quest you're on doing. Anytime you're doing any kind of type of questing, that it might be very specific of, like, hey, this is a line in this particular, like, House of Wolves, Crota, whatever it is.
Right.
I think they're just trying to find a way to make it more obvious, especially because, if you just think about the natural progression, it's down the road when there's 4 expansions. It's like, well, someone just jumping in then will be like, well, what am I doing right now? Is this a Crota mission? Is this House of Wolves? I think that's what that is. Vendor interaction panels now has better animations and fewer popping issues. And I would love to say that I've seen some of this stuff, but I haven't been able to log in at all. So,
so you're on PSN.
yeah.
Yeah.
Xbox has
DBM. What do you play on? You play on
issues.
Xbox?
He plays on Xbox. Look at it.
No, PS4. Actually, somehow I managed to get around it. I guess maybe the time that I logged in or whatever. But yeah, it was
okay.
online the whole time it was down.
I apologize because I thought you were taking a slide at me
what
before the
they're
PS.
Yeah, what they're talking about, really, there's a nice, pretty slide effect now, where where you see what you're turning in, like you're turning in stuff at the Cryptarch, you're turning in stuff at the emissary.
So just kind of as like some way of like actually entering your field of vision and leaving, like as opposed to being like when you hover over something, it's just like pop, there it is.
No, it's like how it presents itself. That's the best way I can describe it.
Okay.
Right on.
The next thing is number of buffs that can be displayed on a character screen has been increased. Inventory items stacks that have reached their highest possible count will now display gold numbers, along with an alert in the tooltip that maximum quantities have been acquired, which is pretty cool. I wonder...
when I read this, I was like, the cool little thing is like, we've talked a lot about our experience with WoW, right? And it's like the little bitty things that they keep putting in here, like polish the game. And I think Josh has said this a few times, like things we don't even realize that are like really going in is what makes this game shine as well. And all these little polish spots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I'd like for them to say, instead of saying like, have an alert that's like, hey, you're at max quantity or you're getting close or whatever that is, I'd like it to just throw it into my vault. Just throw it into my vault, right over to my vault. If I'm only on certain things, like if I'm out farming spin metal, like I said in a few episodes ago, I don't know who does that anymore. But if I was doing that and I'm hitting max quantity, I don't want to have. It's like, let me just keep doing what I want to do and farm my spin metal. Just send it to.
What
my
about
vault.
if they had like vault like kiosk in a bunch of different areas?
That'd
you
be
know,
cool.
so like you're playing the map, and you just have
It's like an ATM.
yeah, it's like
Right.
just a kiosk
my
around.
damn card's not working again.
Right, I can't get in there.
Yeah,
I'm
you got
overdrafted.
Your guardian's like sitting there rubbing his card against his sleeve, like
Right.
Pop up the ghost.
You overdrafted. I like how Hambone said I overdrafted again.
Yeah, my account's overdrafted. They're not gonna let me pull any more guns out today.
Yeah, I'm out of spin metal. I can't
Right.
put any more spin metal out. Oh
It's
man,
done.
that'd be too funny. Yeah, one of the audio changes was that they added improved feedback for players who take damage from enemy weapons.
Energy.
Energy. I'm sorry, energy weapons. So yeah, I mean, I guess. I guess. I mean, I don't really want to hear a fusion kill me any louder. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not like, hey, I couldn't hear that
Polish.
very well, you know. But yeah, it's what I said, polish.
Yeah, definitely polished.
it's already pretty crazy now that with the audio boost that they did to the other weapons, like whenever you get killed by like I don't know any of the hand cannons, you just hear this like gruesome like it just sounds like your head is exploding.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh my god, I don't want to hear this.
Especially if you have a good pair of headphones and you're listening to this, the game does have some great sounds. I mean, that's
Absolutely.
what Bungie's always been good at.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know I like my sounds. I love my sounds.
Yeah, you and your Battlefield loving sound face.
I'm just saying, man. Dice knows how to make some sounds.
Yeah, they do. Hey,
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
I wish they could learn how to play a game.
I like that.
Enter
That was
Josh.
perfect.
That was
Great audio.
Great
Bad
delivery.
I like it, Josh. I like your style.
I'm not going
You're
into
more
it.
welcome. You just
That was
earned
an on
extra
point.
You can stay for 91 days now.
Yes. Yes.
Well, Brian, why don't you tell us a little bit about the companion changes that are happening here?
All right, so they fixed an issue with the Mercury Grimoire card. It was not being awarded. You know, people are very uppity about their Glimmer, their Grimoire score. I'm sorry. So
You're cut off.
yeah,
And no
You know
more
what I mean?
alcohol for you.
yeah. War fine. The Glim War. I'll just make a new one.
The Grimoire.
Grimoire.
So, yeah, the
Expendable
Grimoire card
now.
was right. It was not being awarded. So
Do you go to the
I'm sure
exclusion
that'll make
zone
some
to still farm that as well?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Oh, man.
Retroactively awarded the Mercury Grimoire card to players who have found the Mercury Memory Fragment Dead Ghost. So you don't have to go back and do it again. If you got it, it will track it and give you that appropriate score. And vendor items, damage types, and perks will now be visible on Bungie.net and the mobile app.
That's pretty cool. That is actually pretty
to
cool.
me, that was the coolest part about that whole section.
Yeah, for
was
sure.
that you'll be able to see some other pertinent information on the app, because that's always my problem. It's so intuitive until it's not. And then it gets to the point where you still have to manage between the game and the app. So the more functionality that's on the app, for me, the better.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, and like today, whenever I was watching some streams, some people weren't able to switch over. Like Italian wasn't able to switch over, and he's like, "The app is not working. I'm not an idiot. Trust me. Like it's not working because they took it. You know, it was having some problems whenever they were uploading the new update 1.2. And so yeah, I mean, it's like, hey, it's not working. But do you use the app a lot, DBM?
That's what I was fixing to say. I was like, are you guys on the beta app or the regular one for Android? I'm on Android.
I have an iPhone, sir.
Yeah,
Oh.
I have the
iPhone.
regular one on Android.
Here in North Carolina, we just eat the apples. We don't touch them.
Just eat the apples. Oh,
Is
man.
chewing glass pretty difficult?
oh no.
Well, wow.
But yeah, they've got a beta access. Actually, if you join the Bungie the official Bungie Google website on Google Plus, they'll actually give you a link to try the beta companion app. But it's only for Android. It's the only thing they're testing it on. So yeah, we're gonna give that a shot. Try it out.
They want to test on a superior platform.
No, actually,
Oh.
they want to test it where nobody is watching, really. You know, just
Yeah.
like when you want to check your stream, you put it on like a lesser known name.
We're gonna get so many emails from Apple haters, dude.
Right, the Apple
Yeah,
haters.
it's gonna be
I'm just
ridiculous.
saying, man. Apple is
On
weird.
point at amosisgaming.com. Josh, how about you? Why don't you tell me a little bit about the technical changes that took place here?
Oh, so they're addressing a crash on Xbox One that was induced when too many explosions/projectiles were generated. So that's
Naturally.
Xbox
That's
One.
nice.
Too much going on over there, huh?
Blah 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 blah. Fixed an issue that affected the network quality user interface.
I like how he moved on from that really quickly.
Right?
I was gonna
We just
say,
gotta
I
keep
never
on.
have a
We gotta
problem
keep
with
on
PS4.
going, you know.
Way to be focused, Josh. I like that.
Yeah, it's a first. I gotta get to that 91 days. So, indicators will no longer display persistently bad red quality after a user's connection recovered a quality issue, which is nice.
my
I mean,
goodness.
we sit there forever and like, oh, everybody's in. Like, I listened to it the other night. Like, everybody's in red. Oh, this guy's lagging. It's
Yeah.
like,
Maybe not.
Maybe you're missing.
Right.
Um,
Because especially for you,
That
like,
could
have
happen.
you seen that, Josh? Like, hasn't it happened to you? Where you've been red bar?
Not Josh.
No, it has. Yeah.
Yeah,
where
that's
I've
what I mean.
been
Your connection
playing
is
and
ridiculous.
you
So,
look at your own. You look at your own, and you're like, "What the heck? How am I? Like, am I
Right.
connecting to the? Is the host in like Indonesia or something? What
That's
is
what
going-
I'm saying. Especially for you,
Absolutely.
when you're like 100 up and 100 down. There's no way you're lagging.
Well, I didn't want to bring it up, but
No, I was
Oh,
trying to.
yeah.
throw
Well,
you an
thanks for
alley-oop.
rubbing it in. Yeah, thanks for
No,
rubbing
I
it
threw
in.
you an oop, man. That was like a like a volleyball. Like spike that. Throw it
I-
down, bro.
Wow. Wow. Thank
Um,
you.
anyway, it says the quality indicator should now always correctly reflect on users' live connection quality. So
Very nice.
Well, that's good. I'm glad they're fixing the Xbox. Hey, Null Zero, why don't you go ahead and tell us about the
the first part was Xbox. The rest was everyone. Stop
Yeah.
it.
Stop it.
Well, you know, we
Stop
just
that.
want a complete Destiny experience, and with the old consoles and apparently the Xbox One mucking up the waters, we just can't get the full Destiny experience on PS4 like we're supposed to.
the exclusive experience. Don't forget that.
Right.
Until September.
So the addendum, we have discovered the rare and legendary engrams will drop in 1.2.0 that the cryptarchs will not recognize.
So that means if you're discovering engrams right now, you will have engrams
Yep.
that you cannot cash in until next Tuesday. So if you're listening to this on Monday and you play Monday night, you will still be getting engrams that you need to hold on to.
I have it right now.
You have some right now? You got some today? Tell us a little
Yeah.
bit about them. What do they look like? What do they say?
Nothing.
What do they do?
They're
I
blue.
tweeted at the Cryptarch. I'm like, what, did you hit your quota on Crushed Dreams today? Like, why won't you decrypt these things?
That's awesome.
But that's it. It shows. It's
I would
really
I would say
frustrating
he
because
doesn't
it
recognize
shows-
engrams anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
He
like,
turns
although,
up with the
hey,
boots and he's like, we don't have many of those. Really?
Hey, I
Giving
did,
them all to me.
I did get a really sweet auto rifle roll out of a blue engram the other day. I don't know why.
From the
blue
Cryptarch?
engrams. Yeah, I got a legendary engram out of a blue one,
Nice.
or a legendary weapon out of a blue one the other day, and that was the first time since my Galahorn, discovery out of a blue engram. So I was actually pretty surprised that I got to see that.
like
You're
that
a
you threw
loser.
that right in there.
I didn't even know if you had heard that.
Yeah, no, I heard it.
Yeah,
I heard it.
But it is super frustrating because his indicator is there in the tower that he is ready to decrypt, and they don't.
So it just sits there.
But it's so what I found is it's only the engrams that I've got from completing the bounties
Draft,
for the
draft,
queen,
yep,
and then
yep.
open the chest that you get with the ether key. So
Yeah.
every other
Did you
blue
put a
that's
video
dropped,
about that?
I've been
It
able
works
to
fine. Yep.
to decode.
Yeah, and
Huh.
you have a video or about any of this, Josh?
I do have on the Loot Cave YouTube. I do have completing the first bounty that came up, finding the chest and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, but nothing about the. I don't think I think I mentioned the Cryptarch in the aim assist video though.
Okay, so yeah, make sure you guys are checking both of those out. YouTube.com/Aim Assist Gaming and the Loot Cave as
yeah,
well.
just search
to,
for it right now.
yeah.
That's it.
So for those of you that don't know, Brian put up a video this week. Brian,
I did.
about your 30, right? Your
Oh, yeah,
30 and
yep.
1 KD, right? That's what
Yeah,
you did
yeah.
in the
I
Iron
did.
Banner. And then I put up a video of why RNG Jesus hates me and didn't give me a Hawk Moon for a long time.
Man, that was a funny video. You
Best
guys
video
have got to go see
ever.
these videos. Like, first of all, you'll be impressed with me because I am not the PvP star around here. And then that video that Too Loud did is freaking hilarious. Just a whole bunch of fails. So yeah, you got to go check out our YouTube channel.
Yeah, I mean,
This
I
stuff is on there.
figured a lot of people, we talk. I got to give it to you guys. You're nice to me about my PvP playing abilities, and I figured, hey, I got to show people that I'm not the perfect player. I mess up a little bit, and I had a fun time doing it because some of my moans and groans, as Josh would put it,
They are the best.
after I die are a lot of fun. So
Was there a lot of get real with it? I didn't get to see the video yet.
there wasn't a lot of get real with it.
That's classic.
come
That's
on.
classic Too Loud. Is
Yeah.
get real with it.
Get real with it. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I used to. For those of you that don't know, when we played a lot of Gears, that was my thing. When I died, I was like, "Get real with it, come on." But I've kind of gotten away with it. But speaking of PvP, in the updates coming on next Tuesday, we have some other stuff coming on. And DBM, why don't you tell us a little bit about the PvP changes that are going to be taking place in that episode that's going to be coming out next Tuesday. So if you're listening to this on Monday, you will get this. If not, afterwards, here's some patch notes that are going on. So tell us a little bit about the PvP changes.
All right. Well, first on the list is something that honestly is long overdue. You know how you run the daily and you get a reward, and you run the weekly and you get a reward, and you run the daily crucible and you get nothing. Well, they're going to fix that. They're going to add a new daily reward package upon completion of the first game of the daily featured crucible playlist. That's cool. That's long overdue, in my opinion.
Well, I actually heard today people are getting Trials of Osiris
Coins, yeah, the package
coins for
Yeah.
doing the daily crucible. So yeah, I mean, it's all that kind of maybe already be taking place a little bit in what's going on right now.
And that's the second thing on the list is actually added passage coins to reward streams across all playlists, including all daily reward packages.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That is sick.
The next two are really awesome too.
Yeah, oh god, this is the one I'm excited about because, yeah, I have rank 3 on one character. My other two characters look pitiful. They are going to double ×2 increase the Crucible Marks drop rate across all playlists by 100%. So like, if you were getting only 10 points a win, or actually was it 3 and 6, so now you're going to get 12 and 6 and a loss, 12 and a win.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah,
gonna
that's
be
really
It
nice.
shouldn't take so long to rank up, man. Level up.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things, right? A lot of PvP players, that's all they do is play PvP. There's a lot of people that do that, and it's really frustrating that when you play PvP as much as we do sometimes, that like it takes you forever. I mean, I play a lot, but like sometimes it'll take me 3 or 4 days after reset to hit max points.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but I mean, just all of these things so far, it's like getting rewarded for playing PvP finally.
Yes.
It's like 90% of when I'm playing Destiny is in PvP. And so I'm like, God, it's so hard for me to find a new gun or find a new armor piece. So I'm like, well, I could go do these other things, but this is what I want to do over here.
Right.
Well,
No,
on
I
that-
agree.
On that point, I mean, this expansion coming out it's what they didn't do with the Dark Below. We're going to have a little bit of story, right? I mean, we know that's what it's going to be, and I'm not even trying to be negative when I say that. We're going to have a little bit of PvE stuff, and after a month and a half, tops 2 months, we're going to have good PvP to go to week in and week out. It's going to keep us busy up until the next, the Taken King or Comet, whatever it's called.
Right. Right. No, absolutely. I mean, that's one of the biggest things. Go ahead, DBM.
All right, so they're going to also increase the Crucible Mark drop rate across all playlists by ×2, 100%. Now, increase the Crucible reputation earnings across all playlists by just 20, just a slight nudge there. All right, so they're also going to increase. Now, here's where you're talking about Null Zero. When you're talking about what you were getting at the end of the round. Well, it increased the rare weapons and gear drop chances for completing a game across all playlists ×2. 100% increase on that as well.
That's crazy. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like I remember hearing it from Bungie's end. They wanted to reward the guys that play Crucible. Want to reward the guys that play Crucible? Give them legendaries. Give them the gear that you're getting a lot of out of the PVE content.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I should have found my Hawk Moon in there a lot sooner.
Yeah,
Amen.
well, no, and
Preach
that's not even a joke, honestly. Like, for as much PvP as you played, like, how many exotics has anybody gotten from PvP specifically? I got one, and it was
0.
It was a Galahorn.
Yeah,
I got
I think
a Galahorn.
I think I've gotten one as well. And I think it was a Galahorn.
I've gotten 2. I got my I got a man. I don't remember what the first one was. It was might have been a Galahorn, but the second one I got was Fourth Horseman.
And that's what I'm saying. So it's like it's a very rare thing, and we play a crap ton of PvP, hours and hours of it. So I'm excited about that.
No, absolutely. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the speak of PvP Iron Banner changes?
Me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know if you were talking to
Me.
himself. Yeah, so Iron Banner, the lovely Iron Banista, adjusted the power curve for Iron Banner playlists to accommodate the competitive range of power in House of Wolves. Now, when they say this, because there's already supposed to be a power curve in every other Iron Banner, so how much more, I'm wondering, is it going to be for House of Wolves? Like, you guys have any ideas on that one?
I don't, but I'd like to see a better one because I don't feel like currently in Iron Banner, I don't feel like there's a huge gap between,
right?
I don't know, say 28 and 32.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, you're right. No, go for it.
I was gonna say I've run with my lower level characters, my Titan and my Warlock, and even my Hunter. I don't have a way to make them 32, but I like running Radiant Dance Machines on my feet, and so when I equip that, I'm a 31, and I run Iron Banner as a 31 Hunter all the time, and don't feel penalized for it at all. And so there's no, while I can't be a 32 with those boots on, there's no reason for me to go really get that gear, because when I'm in Iron Banner, I don't feel like, oh, dude, man, I'm getting my butt handed to me because I'm not a 32. I need to take these boots off or go get a new piece of armor.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. Like this last round I was playing, I definitely got 3-shot with a vision of confluence by a 28. Like, and I was a 32.
So that's
and I'm
double
like,
trouble. You're a 32.
Yeah.
You died to a 300 gun and a level 28. And 3 shots.
And 3 shots. And he was green, I was green. There was no lag issue there. It was just straight up. And I'm shooting my 331 Hawk Moon, and this guy 3-shot me as a 28. I'm like, is this Iron Banner or not? So I'm hoping that now with like such a vast difference that like a 34, a 34 with a 365 weapon going up against the 27 with a 300 weapon.
Should lay him down.
I'm hoping that it should just be automatic. Like that's the way it should feel in Iron Banner. If you want fair level play, that's what the usual normal Crucible is for.
Absolutely.
So,
I think Iron Banner should be one of those things where if you're going to go in underprepared or try to pose more of a challenge if you want, you should be like a badass. And that's how you do, like, oh, I'm a badass. That's why I can go in as a 28 with a 300 weapon and still wreck shop, as opposed to like, oh, well, it's just still, it doesn't really matter.
Right, because I remember I used to say to you, be like, Zero, are you really going to go in there as a 28? And you'd be like, yeah, bro, I'm still going to wreck shop. And you would. And now it's like there are players who are garbage, and they're able to still do the same thing because
especially with Blink Shotgun.
Yeah, Blink Shotgun.
Thank you so much, Fel Winters.
Yeah, I don't know anything about a Fel Winters. I've never been shot with one of those ever.
Oh,
but anyway,
across the map.
Yeah, across the map. The next change across one Iron Banner event, players competing in Iron Banner with more than one character on the same account will receive a reputation boost for the lower ranked characters to reach parity with the higher ranked character more quickly.
Nice. That's awesome.
That's freaking awesome. That's the type of stuff that I'm talking about when I say reward to players who are hardcore. Because,
exactly.
Like, Agent, for example, we were running together, and I got to rank 5 on my Hunter, and I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing it again. This dude is on his like second or third character, and he's like, oh, I'm going to get him to rank 5 too. And so, you know,
that's how I feel. I was like, I always shied away from it too, like you did, because I get on with my Hunter and I do everything with my Hunter first, and then I go with my other classes. And the Iron Banner, I just am never like, I'm like, dude, I really don't want to get to level 5 again with another. I mean, that's a whole 3 days worth of work.
No, dude, and DBM, do you do 3 characters so that this will help you out as well?
No, see, I tend to run the Hunter Blade Dancer first. I know they're cheap, but I love them.
Hey, man, do your thing.
Yeah.
Triple wreck runs with the freaking Blade Dancer Hunter, so ain't nothing wrong with it.
Magic too.
Yeah,
they're good. They're good. I run Blade Dancer, and like I want to say about 3 months ago, like I made a Titan, and I fell in love with the Defender class. Love the Defender class, and I went into Iron Banner, and just every time I dropped that bullet, they were just like, "Ooh, hammer fist, wham!" And I'm like, "Ah." I'm like, I just got frustrated, and I was like, F this, I'm not doing it. I got rank 5 with my hunter, and I'm like, all right, that's it, I'm good. I would love to get the Titan armor. Now this change will help me get that.
Absolutely.
What other characters do you run? Do you have one of each, DBN?
Yeah, I've got one of each.
Awesome.
You hear that, Josh? He's got one of each.
It sounds magical. I'm gonna be honest. After being able to get back into more Crucible this week, that frickin' blink shotgun, like, if you're going close quarters, and I heard Cute say this on the TTL Party Chat podcast. He's like, the Titan is underpowered in PvP. Like, that's what he's like, they don't have that blink shotgun is crazy. So you're hearing it here. I'm getting my knitting needles out, and I will be knitting a hood and starting a hunter in the very near future. So from Nightfall this week, I got that helmet that has like all the eyeballs on it for the hunter.
Yeah,
the
arachnid. Yep.
Yeah. So here we go, boys.
That's awesome, man.
It's a great Blade Dancing Hunter helmet. So here you go.
So if you
Welcome to the dark side.
If you can run you a Mask of the Third Man or get a Mask of the Ackley page, that was solid for the gunslinger.
Yeah,
but Mask of the Third Man is what you want.
Yeah. Those are the two that I run. I have the Arachnid, but to me, I don't really ever try to golden gun somebody across the board. So I'm like, I don't know how much I'll use it, but it's definitely a collector's item, and I have it for sure.
Dude, put on Radiant Dance Machines, put on your multi-tool, dude.
Yes.
You can't believe how fast you go around a map, dude. It is insane.
No,
it is
retarded.
If
you're
want
ever
Radiant
playing with
Dance
Will
Machines,
Zero,
man.
ask him to set that combo up, and you will see Twinkle Toes here. Like, can't keep up with this dude. He is flying around the board.
It's a great way for my play style because I like to flank. I like to get behind you. I like to come from places you don't know, like expect me to come from. And so, like, that was always how I was playing Search when we played Call of Duty. I was the guy that was looking for the flank, looking for the fastest route to get where people didn't expect me to be. And so that whole setup allows me to do that very efficiently.
Sweet, man. The next change for Iron Banner, 6 additional Iron Banner bounties have been added to the bounty rotation. That's awesome, because if you're like any of us and you run all of the bounties to level up guns or armor, or
very,
just for the
very
sake of doing it,
shallow pool there.
Yeah, it's very annoying.
It's about ankle deep.
Yeah. So 6 new ones I'm stoked about, and in the same token, they have also removed an errant buff from Iron Banner Control playlist. I'm not exactly sure what this one was talking about. Anybody have any knowledge on what this was referring to?
I have no idea, man. The errant buff?
Yeah, anybody in chat know what this is about? An errant buff from Iron Banner Control playlist.
That's not the buff you can select, right? That you buy?
That's the only one that I can think of. I'm like, are they talking about the tempered buff? And, the one that you can get?
Right.
So I'm not sure what errant one they had in there. But
they're increasing it more than they intended. That might be what they may be thinking about. Maybe like if you run you run the shader, you run the emblem, you run the bond, or whatever you got for whichever class you're running. Maybe it was like over boosting it.
Oh, okay.
Maybe the math was wrong on it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a weird one. And but lastly, the Etheric Light will now be available at ranks 3 and 5 in Iron Banner. So the very next time it comes back, you will be seeing it as available at ranks 3 and 5, which sounds like that's for purchase.
So, I wonder if it's just going to fall at rank 3 and then you can buy it at rank 5.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah, like at rank 3, it could fall for you, and at rank 5, you can buy it.
Yeah, because typically on Iron Banner, you can start getting drops at level 3 once you hit 3, right? So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I think that's probably what it's going to be. I don't know for sure, but we'll go ahead and confirm that here on Amos' Gaming. There you go, confirmed.
Right, confirmed. And if we're wrong, it was never confirmed on this show.
Yeah, blame me.
Yeah,
well,
it was.
Let's ask No Zero. No Zero, is that going to be confirmed or not? Because you're a pretty good guesser. You've kind of nailed some other things down. So what do you think?
I think it's very likely what you all said. I think that's a very good estimation of what they're going to do.
So there it is. It's official. Then.
It's official. Confirmed. Then. Yeah.
I'm trying to find this errant buff. I'm Googling it. Like, what is this?
Nobody in chat said anything.
Do not click images. We don't want to know what you find.
Yeah.
Right?
Make sure the audio is off.
I already muted the browser after the first ad.
Well, Josh, why don't you tell us a little about the tower changes that are coming in 1.2.0.1?
There's a lot. Before we move to that, though, Iron Banner, guys, I mean, since we can all be level 34 without having to do a raid now, I mean, come a couple months, I mean, everybody should pretty much be the same level, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, I like how they're integrating where, like, PvP is going to be able to stay up with PvE as far as your level goes. And like No Zero said many times, the fact that you have to do it through armor, and the only way to do it was through a raid before. And, obviously they started doing Iron Banner last time, but, at least you have these avenues. And, Trials of Osiris is coming, baby. So,
yes. Oh, boy.
I'm going to be running around Iron Banner with my, Egyptian helmet on and chest piece. And
your Hawk Moon and your Hawk helmet and
your bag full of tears.
Dude, I have to say this. My bag full of tears. One thing that's really crazy, though, is like Blink Shotgun is really strong, but Blink and Last Word is really strong too, man.
Whew, that's a nice mix.
It's super strong in this game. I
ran a Unbroken with Last Word. Not using Blink, but running a Unbroken with the Last Word. It's solid, man. If you can hip fire that thing, it's impressive.
Oh yeah, it goes. It'll go for you.
You get the headshots. It's unbelievable. But go ahead, Josh.
The Tower. Guys, this list is relatively long. It says newly acquired faction reward packages will no longer produce shards.
What?
Yay! Go ahead and clap for that. Sweet.
Thank you.
The Speaker will exchange Ascendant and Radiant materials for Glimmer and Motes of Light. Also nice.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Because if you end up taking too much of a break and then you finally get something to re-roll and you realize you have no Motes of Light, it's really sad. Because I have a Jolder's Hammer that I cannot re-roll and I just keep playing with it all standard stats. So this is good news to me. Zur will become less useless and will exchange strange coins for Motes of Light. And I read that verbatim right there. So
that's a huge one because
that's a big deal.
Yeah, hundreds of strange coins.
I was gonna say I try not to play too much of the weeklies or whatever, but I'm still sitting on 150 coins myself. So.
Nice.
I think Pope has 1,000. I'm not.
Yeah, something like that. That sounds about right. There are some guys.
I think Pope has 1,000.
Yeah.
Is he collecting them?
He just plays so much. He does it all, so he just has a ton.
So commendations no longer required to purchase gear.
Thank goodness, dude. I hated that.
That was a weird thing to add to the economy. Commendations can be converted to receive plus 250 gains in Vanguard Crucible or faction reputation.
So everybody, today I saw this happen. I keep going back to this stream, but I actually watched quite a bit of stream today. And what you do is you just put on the faction emblem or the faction item that you want, and whenever you can just do it from anywhere. You don't have to be anywhere special. But if you put it on and then you go and you can basically go to that accommodation and break it down for the faction gear and the faction rep.
A pro tip on that I heard: do it after you've done Nightfall, and you actually get more points for it.
Yeah, you get an additional boost. Yes.
Yeah,
so, pro tip.
Yeah,
pro
tip.
It's like the first thing you should do when you sign on to Destiny on Tuesday is run that Nightfall.
Yep.
Because you get gains for everything, man.
So just another reason why Hambo needs to stay up past 2 a.m.
I know. I'm like, man, you guys just keep piling on Destiny.
It's 10 a.m. your time. I think that it'll be available.
Yeah, it'll be sometime right around there, right?
Yeah, but I wonder if the Nightfall will reset at normal time though.
That's a good question. It really depends on whether it's a House of Wolves strike.
I think it does, and I think they've said don't do it until after the release.
Okay.
Actually, I think what it was that you weren't not going to be able to do it until it all landed.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
Yeah. There you go.
That's
Somebody knows what they're talking about. So
Right? Thank you.
Yeah, there with the pro tips.
Uh-oh, Tinks is rolling her eyes. Look out.
Oh no.
It says, note, etheric light will not be made available for ascending gear until the release of House of Wolves. The Cryptarch will no longer convert newly acquired legendary engrams to shards. Wow, he's less of a jerk.
Yeah. They're making they're trying to make us like the Cryptarch.
It'll never happen.
Never.
If you follow his Twitter account, he wasn't happy about it.
That Cryptarch. He's always mad about something.
He
Right.
is. Expansion 2. Featured daily heroic activities will produce motes of light in lieu of shards.
Ooh.
That's nice, because I couldn't tell you I don't even think I've ever done a daily heroic, to be perfectly honest with you.
Like ever in life?
I don't think so.
Really?
I was like, why? Like,
You haven't done a daily heroic, really?
I mean, I may have, but I couldn't tell you the last time for sure.
Okay, I get it.
Like,
I get it.
You know, I mean, they give you it's money that's useless, right? Or material that's useless in the game at this point.
That's money. Same difference.
That's fixing to change.
So, exactly, which is awesome. Ascending Year 1 Legendary and Exotic Gear can be upgraded to the highest power levels available in Year 1. High five, everybody here, everybody in the stream. What's up?
Bang.
Shatter price.
Yeah, dude. I mean that's rewarding. I just wish it was something that would have been mentioned, from like launch. Like, hey, keep the things you like because they'll matter again someday. Because it's like I deleted my shadow price. I have no problem saying that. You know what I mean? Like it was gone. I just got rid of it. So
I took my shadow price just for giggles, and I took it out and compared the stats to the Vanquisher 8. That everybody swears up and down is the best auto rifle.
Absolutely,
Although auto rifles are kind of poop right now. They honestly do need a buff.
Kind of poop?
But,
no, they are poop.
Yeah.
I mean, they're straight up poop right now. We had that. So we played yesterday in the first MLG Bounty Challenge with. I played with all the guys over at Resolute. I was grateful to be invited to that. But what was really cool about it is that they had these different challenges. It was like the first challenge that we did, we had to play Crucible without picking up heavy, and then we had to play the raid without letting the Templar teleport, and really cool stuff, right? But one of the last challenges was win 3 games, everybody using auto rifles only. You couldn't use any heavy or any special. And dude, it's actually a lot tougher than you think because how bad auto rifles are.
Yeah,
like they're horrible.
Checking peas.
Oh man, it's horrible. And like the best thing to do was have a Suros that wasn't upgraded, right? That had the rate of fire, still really high. And unfortunately, that wasn't even. I mean, I didn't have one, so I couldn't do that.
Yeah, the thing that shocked me the shadow price, Vanquisher 8, same impact. Actually, they had the same range even, but shadow price rocked 3. So like, just kind of surprised by that. Like the older gear was as good as, or not better, actually, than the newer gear.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Sweetness.
Well, the user interface change is only one, and you have the control UI above the mini scoreboard has been fixed and returned to the player's HUD. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
More polish.
Yeah.
More polish.
Yeah, more
exactly.
polish. Thank you.
Thank you for the polish, Bungie. And No Zero, go ahead and finish this out here with the 1.2.0.1 update here with the technical changes.
It says added a new connection recovery system.
Yes!
Specific player networking problems will now be fixed instead of kicking affected players to orbit. This will be enabled first for Trials of Osiris and rolled out to other activities over time, which that's the only thing that matters. As long as we go in, Trials of Osiris works, and we don't have problems, I don't care. Get it to the other ones when you can. Just make sure Trials is great.
But on the flip side of that, for people who are not going to engage in trials, I do want them to come on out with like a date of like, hey, this is when we're going to add this to the normal Crucible stuff that goes on as well.
You might get a date once they. I mean, this is basically a beta of that system. So that they're gonna, I mean, you're beta in trials, and the reason being is because it's like that's the new thing. It's got to work, and then if it's working good, then I think that you'll start seeing it roll out to the other stuff pretty quickly.
Word, that's what I'm looking for.
It has to work because it's a loss if you disconnect, even if it's not on you.
Right.
It's true.
And that would the rage will be real if that.
You don't even know. The rage will be insane for me, bro.
There will be holes next to Mr. Rogers behind Hambone with controllers stuck in the sheetrock.
I'm telling you what.
Buffalo!
Right? Buffalo my ass! Like, I'm telling you, I'll go into like an Incredible Hulk mode and just go nuts. Turn green.
You might hate Apple at that point, man. You might really hate Apple.
Oh my goodness. I'll be on DBM's side. I'll hate Apple, anything Apple. I'll be like, Apple, no!
So a couple of things I wanted to go over with Trials coming out. I mean, with House of Wolves coming out, is a couple of things I heard on the IGN podcast. So I think we've mentioned a few times. Fireteam Chat's a really cool podcast that they have over there, and I listen to it. And one of the things that they were talking about this week is, how does everybody feel about about House of Wolves not having a raid? I mean, what do you guys think about that now that we've seen what House of Wolves is and we see what all it's got packaged into it? Do you guys feel that, House of Wolves is going to be great without the raid? I mean, what do you guys think?
I'll go first.
Okay.
If that's cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
There was the moment of silence. I jumped in. All right.
I was trying to give someone else the opportunity before I
know, so was I. And then I just was like, too much silence.
You guys are too nice. Screw opportunity.
Right? No more silence. Here's what I think is great about the House of Wolves that makes the raid sting less. Is the fact that we are getting entirely new game types that I hope will be that we'll be able to add to those, right? So maybe come the next expansion, the prison will be getting a remodel or whatever and have more rooms.
Level 36 maybe?
Yeah, stuff like that. I mean,
yeah.
I kind of hope, now this is just a hope, that they add a level 35 to Crota and Vault of Glass.
That's what I've been fussing about for a long time. I was like, yeah, you can ascend gear, but how about give me a harder level of the version, the Vault of Glass, where it's going to give me the already ascended, Kabar's armor, stuff like that.
Yeah, and maybe even add to it, right? I mean, bring the chalice back in the extra hard one, and make your life tick down the whole time, so you have to pass that thing around or whatever. And
all bosses are enraged.
That wasn't my idea, but
oh no, take credit for it.
No, I can't. I don't remember where I heard it, but I mean, just lots of ideas like that. That I mean, they could actually fix Crota's raid, and I think that would be a good thing, so that it took an hour to do instead of 27 minutes. Or
whatever. I think one of the cool things is that all these things they're going to be able to build on, right? So when you look at Destiny, next year at this time next year, right? And you've had Comet, or we'll get into that, the Taken King, whatever. If you have that, you have all these things that they're building on every time there's expansion. So, when before we just had a raid, right, and we just had Iron Banner and Crucible, like those were the three things. Now we have like 5 things,
Yep.
And then next time we'll have 6 or 7. So like this game will become that big game that they talked about for a long time. That will be, hey, you will be able to look at your gear and know, hey, this is what this guy's been through. He's been here through vanilla, and he's done this stuff whenever Trials was brand new. And when we look at, we go into Destiny 2, it's the same thing, and it's just building. And I think, some people have joked and said it before, and we've probably even said on the show, we're playing a beta right now, but it kind of is like this game is growing. You know what I mean? So these aspects are really cool. No Zero, what do you think? I mean, you were going to say something about the raid. Go ahead.
Yeah, I said it right when they said that there's no raid, that I was fine with no raid. I want them to expand what they have, and I think that they're doing. I'm not sold on the Prison of Elders yet. I'll say that. I'm not against it in any way. I just, from what I've seen, I don't know. I'm like, okay, maybe I might like that. I'm not 100% sold on it. I kind of am holding out that maybe they haven't told us everything that's in House of Wolves, to be honest. I think that there's something else in House of Wolves that we don't know about.
I mean, well, speak of that, we haven't even seen any campaign yet. We haven't even seen. I mean, they haven't shown any of that stuff. I mean,
but there's confirmation that
mission.
It's 5 campaign missions.
It's five stories.
There's confirmation of that.
And you know, hopefully we see some really cool cutscenes. I hope they stepped it up like they did everywhere else in this, just a little bit. You know, I mean, I don't need a whole lot of story. Just start giving me some more story that's, you know, I don't have to go read Grimoire cards. You know, they say something. One of the guys on IGN said, I bought a game, not a book. You know, and like, I'm right there with him. Like, I'm right there with him. And it's like, I play video games because, I mean, reality is I don't read a whole lot of books.
I can't read.
Well,
you know?
there's a thing.
Read them books and them words they got.
There's a thing that I've watched these videos over and over of the trailers leading up to the launch of House of Wolves, and the thing that keeps sticking out to me is like one part in the trailer, they're in the Vault of Glass, and the Fallen is in the Vault of Glass.
Yeah,
there's another part where there's another jumping puzzle that's like the Vault of Glass, but they're in the air outside somewhere. Look like Venus. It has that kind of yellowish, greenish tone going on. I honestly think that there's going to be something that they didn't announce at all, and I really I think there might be something else that is going to be like, boom, there it is. Look at that. You didn't even know that was there.
Well, Bungie usually doesn't show all their cards. You know, that's just Bungie in general. They don't usually show all their cards.
Yeah, I mean, Dark Below is kind of like the going back to that. It's like, well, they didn't really hide anything there. They came out. It was like, oh, here's a raid. Here's some maps. Here's some story. There you go.
So what we have seen? Do you guys think this is going to add? I mean, obviously, it's going to add an initial push, right, to Destiny. You know, and Hambone told me the other day, he's like, man, there's going to be a lot of new streamers and stuff come out real quick, and they might stick around, they might not. And content people, you know, DBM. There's going to be some other YouTubers that might try to come, you know, and jump in.
I see it like all the time in the community. You'll see a pickup of like, you know, YouTube video from this guy, YouTube video from that guy, and it's just like a lot of random people. And I guess it's people that, you know, hop on Destiny, and they hop on else in the game, just, you know, whatever. But yeah, I noticed that pickup in the community.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen naturally. Do you guys think that this, you know, that the you know, the PvE stuff or in general, and the House of Wolves is going to be able to, you know, suffice for, say, through the summer to comment, or, you know, the Taken King per se that we'll talk about?
I don't, man. I really don't. And I think that's okay. I think what we are going to have to accept, at least for the life of Destiny 1, is that there will be periods of lull where you will do repetitive things. Yeah, and it'll be the hardcore people that stick around, and numbers will dip, and people will probably play some other games. But I think that's okay. We're going to catch this wave, and we're going to ride it. And I at least see it getting through June. But after E3 and we know what's coming down the pipeline, it's going to be hard if there's not other new content before comment.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be really. I think it's going to be a lot of content. I don't think it's going to be any different than if we did have a raid. I think Prison of Elders is going to fill that spot for a lot of people, and it might even fill it longer, right? Because of all the difference that's in it. I don't think that a raid, like, if people think, oh, if we had a raid, it would last longer. I don't think it's. I mean, look how fast Crota got easy.
Yeah,
it's like, you know? If you remember how quickly people were chewing through the Vault of Glass hard mode, and, you know, was I can't remember the guy's name, but, you know, guys two-manning it, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
right, exactly.
within 2 weeks, almost every time, it becomes super easy for everybody. Everybody's running it. You know, people that do run raids, should I say. And I know everybody doesn't run raids, but that's the case. I mean, I don't think it's going to be any different. I mean, they, for everybody that's out there, if you didn't know this, they trademarked. This came out of news that they trademarked something called the Taken King, and it's the same attorney that filed for the other expansions. So the same attorney and the firm that filed for these other expansions filed for this thing called the Taken King, and IGN is saying that they think we're gonna hear something about this at E3. So this is gonna be their announcement. Like,
I think
hey,
so
look,
too.
we've done all this stuff. We've done a great job.
Like,
We're listening to the community. Here's E3, and here's the Taken King, which is what we would also know as Comet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I have to agree with that. Like, I went on the actual website myself and did a little fact checking, and I checked the jargon of how it was worded, and it's worded exactly the way that the Dark Below was worded. It's worded exactly the way that House of Wolves is worded. So for it to not be the next DLC, I would be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they said Comet is a common term used for a lot of like placeholders. With a lot of companies always use the word Comet. It just happens to be because
with Activision.
Because Destiny is placed in this universe. We all thought, oh, maybe it's actually going to be called Comet, but no, that's just like a placeholder name that they use a lot. So hopefully, I think it'd be really cool if Bungie's been really good about House of Wolves. Okay, I got to give it to them, man. They with the streams they came out with and all the hype they've built, like incredible job by them. Like incredible job as
Absolutely.
a fan, as a podcast. I think they've done a fantastic job doing that. And if they can keep that hype going by announcing something at E3 like this, it's like, hey, in October we got. How hyped will everybody be? Is kind of keep people on the train.
Absolutely.
It'd be really really cool.
Whereas
to
Null
see.
Zero was talking about the seeing guys on different platforms. Could you imagine, whatever is going to be in the Taken King shown on the big screen? I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Crota's dad.
He has a walker.
And some people have even said maybe we'll see a raid in the middle of the summer. And to
that's-
that.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say to that point, IGN, they asked them, hey, will it be free? Will something like that be free? And they're like, hey, look, there's not a raid included in the House of Wolves. So basically that would mean that any other content would cost money. How do you guys feel about that? If they came out with a raid, would you pay $10 for a raid?
Absolutely.
We would.
I
Any
mean,
of us
because
here would.
I would, because I'm a sucker. I went with the Ghost Edition. So yeah, if it's coming from Bungie, I'm getting it.
And that's
I did
what I'm
too,
saying.
my
Like, at no point in time, like in any of the complaints that anybody has had, I don't think anybody can say that we haven't gotten our money's worth with anything. Like, you know what I mean? So if Bungie
Somebody
comes
will
out,
say it. It's the internet.
Oh, I'm sure they would. I'm sure they would, but I would just laugh.
You don't
because
read
it's like,
Reddit enough.
right? And let's just use Battlefield, my favorite, for an example. You don't get that much crap with Battlefield when a DLC comes out.
No, the way I put it when we talked back when when Dark Below was coming out was I said, you pay this much to get 4 maps on Call of Duty. But in this you're getting a whole lot more stuff. So
You're getting a whole lot
Battlefield
more
makes you
stuff.
buy an extended clip.
Right.
Come on.
Not only are they extending the in-game activities for you to experience with your friends, they're also adding to the story. They're also giving new weapons. They're also increasing attack level. So, heck yeah, if they come out with a raid, say July, I'm in. And I think everybody here will be in as well.
Well,
being what we do, we have to be.
yeah.
We have to.
Well, I want to be though. Like that's the thing is like I want to be. Like I'm so hyped about Destiny right now. It's ridiculous. Like, I've gone through the lull everybody else has gone through, and I'm at that high. I think a lot of people are at right now. It's like, man, I love Destiny.
Were you on Twitter like at about 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock this morning when Bungie was saying they'll announce something this morning? Were you in panic mode? Like I was just like, I'm at work, running around on the floor, and I'm still checking the phone, because I was scared they were going to say maybe it's the patch is down. So I was like, yes.
Right. Yeah. No. Absolutely.
I see that on Twitter. What they announce?
They're just saying that something was coming, and we all got the Queen bounties.
Yeah.
That's basically what. And there's a lot to that. Now that it's out there, people are finding, like we said, Trials of Osiris passages. Bungie tweeted out about the keys. You can only carry up to 5 keys at a time, so make sure you put them in your vault. So people are finding keys to Prison of Elders in these chests when they beat these bounties for the Queen. So. All kinds of really cool stuff going on.
One thing that was in one of the announcement videos is they talk about new quests, and in there they have like an icon for like strikes and the typical stuff. But the one icon on there that no one really talked about was they actually have the quests, like going to the different locations on the planet where you go pick up like a quest on the planet, and they had that emblem on one of their videos. So I'm assuming that they're trying to beef that content up as well. So when you're on the planets and running around doing whatever you're doing, there's a reason to stop and actually pick up the little bounty tracker quests along the road.
Right. No, absolutely. Absolutely. There's just like, even in this pre-release, I mean, it's just, like I said, they're hyping everybody up. It's crazy. I mean, I had said many times I was going to get The Witcher 3. And I still really want to play that game, but like it's coming out the day that this releases, and I'm like,
right, nope, not anymore.
I can't. I mean, I just can't. I mean,
right,
and that's part of
I'm
the
gonna buy it, but I won't be playing it until after I dig my teeth into House of Wolves.
Hey, I have a question here for you guys coming from the chat. Will I Am says, I'm sorry, I meant to say Wolf King. If a raid comes out between House of Wolves and TTK, would that be labeled a microtransaction?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Not really, because microtransactions refer to even smaller purchases like a skin for a gun, some kind of cosmetic thing to a character.
Well, I guess it depends how much it is. If it's $1.99, it's a microtransaction, right?
Well, the term microtransaction gets thrown around pretty loosely. So, like, a microtransaction can cost $10-$20. I don't know, like, referring to some other games I play, like League of Legends or Heroes of the Storm, I wouldn't necessarily consider buying a champion in one of those games a microtransaction. I would consider that buying content, as opposed to when they come out with a new skin that's $10.
Well, I mean,
that's
I don't think they'll
microtransaction.
release House of Wolves without anything else either. You know what I mean? I think they'll release it with some updates of some other stuff.
I don't want them to do microtransactions. What I'd love for them to do is have a subscription service or a Patreon. Dude, like a Patreon where it's like, hey, I'm going to put money towards the Bungie's Patreon towards Destiny. Like just a steady flow of income coming to them monthly. Yeah. Man, they could do so much more with Destiny.
Yeah. I feel like they have made plenty of money to do anything that they would like.
20 million users.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely are, but you also have to congratulate them a little bit because they're not that microtransaction kind of company that they keep updating this game the way that they are.
No, I do, because
they're supporting it.
This was my concern when we talked way before it came out. This is like you say they've made plenty of money, but this was my concern to Troy, was no matter how big that number is, it costs money to have hands on this game updating it as often as they're doing it. And the reason something like World of Warcraft has a monthly transaction is, one, to make money on the game, but two, to subsidize the cost of actually updating the game and creating content for that game. So you look at it as like, oh, okay, well, I bought House of Wolves. Well, okay, if you have a 20 million install base, if 50% of them buy the House of Wolves, well, the profits from that are not nearly as significant as, say, like,
well, and a lot of us have already paid that money. You know
what
I mean? A lot of us have already paid that money. I mean, speak of that, real quick, before we move on to the next section, is I want to cover is The Division. The Division got delayed till 2016. Everybody thought, hey, this could maybe be the Destiny killer, or hey, I'm going to go play this game. They're watching Destiny and doing all the things, making sure they don't make the same mistakes. But I think they got in over their head, is what I think. I think they're like, wait a second, Bungie's doing better than we thought, or hey, they're doing some things we got to make sure we're doing. Are we going to be able to support this game? And Ubisoft said, hey, time out. If this is going to be our chance, we need to make sure we have it lined up right.
Right.
I mean,
that's a lot of manpower to do the updates like they're doing, and that's the one thing that people don't get. They don't get the credit for, is people constantly complain about what they're not getting. But it's like, man, the manpower that goes into making these updates, and there's not a steady flow of income to this game. Right. It's initial purchases. Once those initial purchases are gone, we hope you buy the DLC, and that's what they have to go on, and that's a lot of hands to keep paying and a lot of mouths to keep feeding to keep getting these updates.
Absolutely.
Well, speaking of things we want, let's go ahead and jump into I Want That.